So this video is going to be the explanatory video to the script, to the download script, to the one-to-one instruction from me myself on how to scale as an IT professional. And this can be freelancer, a solopreneur, and an entrepreneur. So a business owner. So maybe first shortly to me, I'm Patrick McGibney. I'm the founder and CEO of McGibney Consulting and Advisory, as well as McGibney Mentoring and Coaching. And within our mentoring business, we are helping IT experts that can be starters as freelancers, can be well-established freelancers, or business owners. We always say up to 50 people, to start, and more importantly, to scale their IT consulting business. And I know scaling is a pretty wide term that it's used inflammatory, meaning everybody's using it, and I have a feeling sometimes people don't really know what this actually means. So what I thought, I want to create basically a framework, a script that we within the IT consulting niche can use to scale as an IT professional. And why is this so importantly, especially for IT consultants or developers or business owners? Because our niche is special. And I know everybody's saying that, but we as ITlers, we know that we are thinking a little bit differently. We are very good at what we are. We are well paid. We have a little bit of an ego. Yep, I got one too. So, and yes, our niche is working a little bit differently. We're now, simple, designers or whatsoever. I mean, designing is part of it, but it's a little bit special here and there. And I wanted to break down 4 levels that I can see that I went through scaling from an IT freelancer to IT consulting business owner. Should help you to find yourself in which stage you are. So at the end of this video, this document will be shared to you, so you can download it for free. And if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments or whatsoever. But shortly, to wrap up my story, I've been 15 years in IT consulting niche. Started as an employee, freelancer, founder, CEO. Had my own holdings over various countries, scaled up to 7-8 digits, 100 employees. And was focused on SAP and Microsoft, and my exit 2021. And ever since, now I'm focusing to helping others to walk the same path. You can read everything about that. It's not about me, it's about you. So let's jump right in to you. So the prerequisites for you. I always like to ask the clarity of your goals. Where do you stand? And where do you want to go? Super important to have clarity on where we want to go, right? This is not just a blah, blah, blah saying. This is actual information that we need. So this is an example, someone who has a cash flow problem should not stubbornly aim to get to the 4th level up and running straight away. That does not work. We need to start at the 1st level. Makes sense, right? With each level, the next level is easier to reach. So the best case scenario is 50 to 80% utilization to get to the 4th level up, running with the remaining time if level 4 is the goal. So there needs to be some time that you can actually implement. Makes sense as well. You can have 50,000 turnover or more at each level. How this is earned and what freedom comes with varies from level to level. Make you an example. You can earn 15K, 20K, 25K as a freelancer, but you can be on site at the customer. So I was literally living at the beginning sorry about the thumb, stupid Mac. I was literally living in hotels especially at the beginning of my journeys, which was cool at the beginning, but sometimes it can simply start sucking. So those 15, 20, 25K with one project is completely different earning that same amount of money sitting at home. So this is a different level of stress, this is a different level of input and output, outcome in this case. So let's talk about the evolutionary stages of programmers or consultants, or all to say IT professionals. Yeah. So the first level is the recruiter projects. Yeah. You usually get 10, 15K a month, maybe more. We'll get to the next level as well. So for whom is this? Basically, someone who's transitioning from a permanent employment to self-employment. That's a starting point. Pardon me. So people who need who need short-term turnover since starting. Examples: front-end developers for companies, 3 to 6 months, sub BI consultant, Microsoft 365, solution architect. So let's say beginners. Yeah, we actually have a quick win for this within our project outreach method. This is actually something that we were teaching one-to-one for free in our recent webinar, and you can actually purchase the whole thing here as well. There's a link in. It's €0, completely valuable. We have people joining, and 2 days later they already have customer interviews scheduled. So after 2 days they already had some interviews going. So super valuable. It was also shared in a recent webinar, so you can check it out on YouTube. It's all there. It's all for free. So the pros here usually is fast and uncomplicated. As demand is greater than the supply, and consultants or developers are proactively contracted by recruiters. Yeah, makes sense as well. You can build up cash reserves at the start of self-employment, super important at the beginning, and the contract usually lasts 3 months or is often extended. So you don't really have the necessity for a constant acquisition. That's easy work. You use the platforms, use basically recruiters, headhunters, super easy. You use what is already there, utilize it for your sake. But the cons here, you're still a better paid employee with a little bit more freedom, and downside: recruiters receive 10 to 30% commission, which is based on the end customer. So 10% cool, up to 20, 30 a little bit too much, in my opinion. So just be aware of the fact. So the second level is the remote assignment, so still leveraged by the hourly rate. Still recruiter project, but we are looking at 15 to 25K a month. Yeah, of course, can be higher, can be also slightly higher. So for whom is that? Still, someone who's transitioning from permanent employment to self-employment. People who want to switch from permanent on-site remote work. The other one was on-site. So again, you have front developer, sub-consultant, D365 expert, name it. Yeah. Again, I'm referring to the quick win method because it's literally showing them how to do that. Yeah. The only difference here to the first level is the hourly rate can be leveraged. Example: you bill 8 hours and only work 6 hours because you're much faster. So you save 2 hours, you can invest it into a different problem. Still, please think fair, work well with new customer. It works very well with new customers, works very difficult with existing customers. That being said, with existing customers, make sure that you don't do it during an ongoing project. That will not work. Pros, obviously, independence of location. The money is easier to earn than with an on-site job. It's also pretty logical. I know people who even make 50K a month in this setting. I've done it myself, by the way, and also other clients. Usually quick and uncomplicated. As demand is greater than the supply, so basically the same. And we can build up cash reserves at the start and contract again 3 months or longer, and no constant acquisition is necessary. Still, the cons: you are still a better paid employee, a little bit more freedom, and still you have the commissioning problem with the recruiters and the dependency behind it, and you're still leveraging what is on there. So still, I would say a pretty much beginner level. Just that you work remotely and probably can utilize more than one project. Let's move to the third stage, the remote order, directly with the end customer. Yeah, so now we're talking 25K to 50K a month. Who's it for? People who want to want variety in projects, people who don't want to be dependent on one project, very important, and customer segment generally smaller. So you want to spread your customer base, you want a little bit more variety, you don't want to be dependent, and you want to work directly with the customer, obviously also get more return on invest. And that's not the right word, more turnover. Examples. Startup needs a product owner, developer books 3 days per week. Yeah. And SME needs Microsoft D365. Solution architect, smaller corporate, or a big four, Jesus, need an SAP consultant, and so on and so on. You can also use a retainer model with a fixed salary per month. It peaks at the beginning, that levels off. Important. Yeah. Muy importante, clear specs define developer. X story points per month for example, 5,000 euros. A Q&A, X tests for checkout per month for X euros, or an MVP for blah, 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 POC for that and that, analysis workshop for. Okay, clear idea, right? So how? Become visible. Yeah, very, very important. Social media. Actively pursue sales. I'm going to make this fat because I know this is going to trigger a lot. Tackle response to marketing. So social media meditation. Acquisition methods. You need to do lead generation here. Just that we are clear. Let's write it down. They're not coming from alone. Job postings. And this is a good one for permanent positions. So you can actively apply via retainer model, and then also care about the onboarding. So meaning you can look on platforms or sites where companies are looking for permanent positions. So instead of applying for a permanent position, you can reach out and say, I'm not going to apply for permanent position, but I can help you fulfill all the needs, all the requirements for the time being, so that you have this role filled out. Plus, we can search and I will onboard that new employee later down the road. You build trust, you build a relationship, you help the customer, you earn money. Pros. Risk is distributed. Now, you have multiple clients possible at the same time. That's why you leverage. Yeah? You have higher hourly rates since you have no recruiter in between. More leverage possible, as I just said. You have greater independence, yeah? Fewer meeting duties and so on. And it's easier to assign employees to projects in the future. Very, very important point. Cause still, you're in time and money, despite leveraging of the hourly rate. Your running times are shorter, and marketing must be done. You must get visibility via social media channel. I would say marketing and sales must be done. Clear. So we're still at this, not at the beginner stage anymore. I would say this is intermediate. Now the fourth stage, we're going a little bit more on the pro level, I would say. It's a remote order, but directly with the end customer and employee. So as we had here, with the end customer, now we have an employee as well, which will allow us to go to 50 to 100K a month. Again, this just ranges and examples, real life examples. We have an SAP consultant example or Microsoft D365 developer example. We have examples here or like a business behind, yeah? So who's it for? People who want variety in projects, people who don't want to be dependent on one project, customers and segments and generators. People who want to break free from the time versus money chain. We're gonna make that fat, yeah, because that's the difference to it. Again, we have startups, so we can basically copy this down below because we're literally the same. Yeah. You can still have the retainer model, the muy importante, story points, blah, blah, blah. Okay, it's all the same. How? Become visible, actively pursue sales, address response to marketing, acquisition, yeah, lead generation again, job postings, and applying for a retainer model. We've done this though. The pros here, risk is distributed, you have multiple clients, you have higher hourly rates since direct customer or leverage, greater independence. And now here, you have the time versus money change solved. Because now you're actually, and I'm gonna add this, you are starting to add done with you or standardized or productized services / actual products. So this is the core difference to the first one. Also that you have an employee, yeah, multiplication of productivity by employees. Yeah, if you compare this to the third stage, you have no employees. Yeah, you work directly with the customer. You can go up to 50K. Now you have an employee. So now you start and you break the money chain. You can leverage more. So you have here. So by customer projects, you can bring people on projects, or you leverage even more by standardized service offerings. Yeah. And this is the very done with you DWY, and this is the big factor because time versus money change is solved, and you have a 2 to 3 times factor on the employee. Sorry, still German. And product market fit results organically, meaning when you bring out productized or standardized services, it's going to grow with the market or into the market. Cons. Hiring leadership must be mastered. So this is super important. I have a different video where I'm talking even more thoroughly about that. This is a super important point. We have this, let's call it freelancer IT. I would even say IT / freelancer mindset that we know everything. Because we're so good in the things we do, which is true. But believe me when I'm saying that we are not good at building and scaling a business naturally. Just because you're good in technical things, programming, customizing, solution architect, does not make you a good businessman, a good entrepreneur, someone good who's hiring, someone good in leadership. Actually, it's the opposite, because we're very often, and this is not me being offending anyone. We're introvert, very analytical. That's just how we are. So hiring leadership must be mastered. I speak out of my own experience. It's completely different leading a team, and I'm not saying 1 or 2 people. Lead more, lead 20, lead 50, lead more. Complete different ballgame. Yeah, negative beliefs, a little bit the IT freelancer mindset, what I was just explaining, retaining and incentivizing talent. Yeah, it comes with growing a team. Risk of, still German, employees leaving after successful ramping up. So it's actually, this hurts a lot. I'll tell you the truth, this can hurt a lot. Terms are shorter, and marketing plus sales must be done, yeah, to gain visibility. The bigger it gets, the less profitable it is. The scaling, let's say balance is needed. Revenue versus margin. Yeah. You can say revenue and costs versus profit margin. Then different video, I'm explaining a little bit more about that. It's naturally, if you're growing, you grow with revenue, you're also growing with people, your costs are rising, increasing, mostly at this point higher, so proportionally higher than the revenue. So projects margin, profits margin shrink. So we actually need to set the right structures and processes that doesn't happen. You can see it, I think, in the testimonial. So in the client testimonial is an example that we're linking here in the document, in the video, that it is able to increase up to like on a monthly averages six digits revenue while increasing higher proportionally the profit margin. Think about that. Yeah? It can only be scaled via FTE here in this case. So the more people, the more outcome we have, unless we have this productized services. Yeah. Yeah. So in this case, why it says FTE? Because actually, to be more precise, we are leveraging through the employees. Yeah. And the time versus money change, it's starting to get solved because we are starting, to add these multiplication of productivity by employees by the standardized services. Yeah. But still, it has a certain effect on or dependency on the employees. So we're still scaling over the FTE. If we're now looking on the own service product for end customers, we can go over 100K a month. Yeah. You have a good client testimonial here. Yeah. Who's it for? So people who want to manage their own project with being in cog in a large project team and customer in the segments very smaller. And I would say businesses which want to break the time versus money problem and grow over proportionally in profit margin than revenue. Yeah. Yeah. So how positioning must be right. I know we hear that all the time, but there must be some truth about that. Right? Become visible. Sales, marketing, sales and marketing. It is responsive marketing, social media, and acquisition method from chapter 4, lead generation. Again. So, and I'm going to add this because this gets more important at this level because you really mastered this at this point. Don't get you confused. We can put it like this. Start off definition. Yeah. So we can add it here that we are starting here, and obviously this is motivated, but the time versus money change starting to get solved, but the main scaling factor are still FTEs, so employees. Where in this case we have mastered the service offering. Yeah. You actually broke the chain now, yeah, of time versus money, strongest, yeah. So that's here. Again, you can leverage this from employees by customer projects or standardized service offerings. Yeah. Examples: advice on information with specific tasks, get in via expertise, and if necessary, make the transition to supporting the team on the entire area yourself. So this is naturally a problem, and people say, the customers only want me, they will not speak with my team, blah, 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 blah. I get it, but if you address it right, if you have a real lead generation, a sales process, a real standardized, productized service offering, you will be able to not explain to a customer why not everything is dependent on you. And actually, if your team is delivering, it's much more stable, much better for the customer. Super important to understand this point. Team training for Flutter, UI dashboards for SAP frameworks, Microsoft D365 sales, or SAP BI requirements workshop, and so on and so on. super many examples. Yeah. You can also again work with retainer models that we explained already, or you can have complete prototypes on running apps, web apps, full stack developers, basically, and standardized services, your web app, your Excel chaos, your app with gamification, your Microsoft 365 PO MVP, your SAP Fiori app, yeah, just making everything up based on real examples. The pros, you really solve on the strongest leverage, the time versus money chain. You have independence and you have more opportunities to work on the company than in the company. So because of the processualization of the service delivery, employee hiring, sales, lead gen, and then lead gen and sales, and so on. And it's easier to assign employees to projects in the long term. Cons. Product market fit requires time, resources, and experience. There's nothing you can do like this. That's why we are here. Marketing must be carried out constantly, 1 to the hours daily. Sales must be, that's coming. Sales must be mastered confidently. 2 hours plus daily. So half the day is marketing and sales. This is why you need a team. Yeah, you can't do delivery anymore. So the conclusion, there are 3 different time versus money models. Yeah, level 1 to 3. To get to level 1 to 3 stable, you need profiles on the right platforms, require lead generation, negotiation, and sales. Yeah. Again, all this we showcased in our recent webinar. It's on my YouTube channel. I can also link this in here. I'm actually gonna I will make a note here for you. Link webinar for project outreach. Done. I'm reminding myself. If required lead generation, negotiation, and what you don't need, deficit is positioning, your own offer, and your own website. Please don't do your own website. If I'm gonna hear one more time that you're gonna do your own website before anything else, I'm going to freak out. Okay? If you want to go to level, and so if you're confident in your recruiter, enter customer business, and then want to break away from the time version, you should continue with the positioning, and then we're looking level 4. Yeah, this is where you break the time versus money, and you're looking at employees, so a team, and standardized and productized services, because you don't want to only scale via FTEs. Okay? If you need help with one or more of the above topics, I'm there to help. Yeah? I'm offering you to book a call here. Again, it's linked. It's going to be linked in the video and so on. With me and my team, and we will look into your situation, how we can help. You can comment anything under the video. You can send us a mail. You can send us messages, WhatsApp, LinkedIn. Everything will be added. And let us know. Let us know your feedback. Let us know if it helps. Do you find yourself? Do we miss anything? Like any kind of feedback is welcome. If you have a comment, I'll answer them personally. We look after each customer one-to-one. So our quota of new customers per quarter is obviously limited. So anyone who wants to become a customer in Q2 24, when it's recorded, will receive a live event in November in Cyprus as a bonus to plan the entire 2024. This actually also goes probably because we're getting close for Q3. The live event will be something that we'll be announcing shortly, but more to that differently. I hope it helps. I'm really thankful for watching this video. I hope it helps you. That's the main reason. It's not for me. Let us know how you think. If you have any questions, let me know. Until then, I wish you a happy and very productive implementation of these advices. Till then, see you later.